Claire?
I'm great. How are you, Brad? Excited to be
I,
here.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a good time. What has your past week looked like for you?
I did a lot of traveling, and I got to go out to California, which was absolutely lovely. But traveling and trusting that other passengers are going to be as mindful as you are
Mm-hmm.
is
Okay.
rarely ever the case.
Okay. What happened on your traveling excursion?
So I had two legs. One, I flew into Las Vegas, which I'm a sucker for Las Vegas. It's the adult Disneyland, if you will, for me.
Viva Las
And
Vegas. Yes.
yes, and I did lose $20, but for me, that's a win. That is a total win. On my second leg to Santa Ana, I passed two elderly people, which no shame there, but there is shame in having a tuna fish sandwich that you're sharing between the both of you, and then you're in the first row.
Oh, they were sharing a tuna fish.
People should be jailed for having tuna fish. And I started thinking about it. Why are there not more regulations on like what you can and cannot open on an airplane? What if you opened a peanut butter sandwich and someone's allergic to peanuts?
See, when I was a kid, way before you were born, Claire, nobody was allergic to peanuts back then. There was no peanut allergies in our school. It wasn't bad. But yes, there should be a law because tuna is the worst smelling thing and you're in a capsule. You're basically in your own little fart capsule.
Yep.
And everyone's going to smell whatever happens. And you're eating that. I've had that happen. Somebody opened up like Indian food when I was on a flight one time.
You just can't.
Literally made me almost want to break my streak of 27 years without taking a dump on the airplane. I thought I was going to have to go, man. I thought this is it. This is it. I looked at my buddy Trent, Blumhouse Trent, and I'm like, hey, man, this might be the time I go. The
You
streak could
inhaled
end.
it went in your nostrils and you were like,
Yeah. I ate
that's
Indian
good
food.
enough.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's terrible. People like that should be carried off the airplane.
1,000%. And I'm tuna fish. Like, you just don't do it. It's not mindful. It's not demure. It is not kind.
We got some
So,
people in the chat that saying tuna is the best. I disagree.
don't get me wrong. I love tuna fish in the comfort of my own home, not on an Airbus. It's just wrong.
Yes. What airline were you flying, by the way?
Southwest, which
Okay,
before
that's
you
not bad.
Okay, I was about to say, before you go in on me about Southwest, I am a Southwest stan. I appreciate the open seating policy. I am not looking forward to having to buy my seat on Southwest. But I don't know. Like a lot of my work trips, like I can't use Southwest anymore, so I've got to jump ship.
At least you're not flying Frontier or Spirit.
That is like lawn chairs on a plane.
It
Like
is horrible.
it really is. And your fold down tray is like this big.
We flew to Vegas. I flew with my wife to Vegas and put her in a middle seat on a Spirit flight. I'm surprised she stayed married to me. Honestly, I thought that could be the deal breaker at the point. I'm like, maybe she's gonna leave me now. I don't want her to. I'll ride middle, but I didn't. I didn't want to offer up middle. I made her do it. So
I've flown Spirit once, and it was in a middle seat between two massive humans and right beside the bathroom after a gnarly night out in Atlantic City where I won $1,700 and not even a mimosa could bring me back to life, Brad. Like, it was dangerous.
Jacob says a good egg salad sandwich on a plane. What do you think?
No.
That would smell like straight sulfur farts.
If you have salad and sandwich in the same food, it's a no for the plane.
It's not.
Not even
chicken salad. Wait, chicken salad possibly. You might could get away with the chicken salad.
I'm not even going to give.
Let's find out from Alexa.
Yeah, let's hear.
Yeah. What have you learned this week? What's something you've learned?
I learned that bringing tuna fish salads should be a punishable offense on a plane. What have you learned, Brad?
Well, MTD says Allegiant is good. He likes that airline. Never flew it.
Okay.
But I learned that I can't make it through every horror movie I think I can make it through.
Mm.
And I've got to let our guests know that I couldn't make it through a movie. I really couldn't. Claire, there used to be this video called Faces of Death when I was a kid. And it was like videos of people killing themselves, real life. And we would pass this VHS around. Like we would watch it. Sorry, MTD, I watched this tape.
No.
And 100%. We
It's
did.
real.
Faces of, look it up right now. Look it up. Faces of Death. MTD, look it up. Faces of Death. There's like all of them. And I would watch it. It was easier to watch that than to watch Terrifier 3. I'm telling you. You just disassociate yourself with it. But yeah, it's like, it's crazy. Are you looking it up, Claire? She's looking it up, I think, listeners.
Both real and reenacted.
Oh, so it was reenacted? Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, I thought it was real because,
Both were
yeah, we're talking junior high school. I would be popping this tape in going, oh, you got to see Faces of Death. It's going to be incredible.
I mean, that's scary.
MTD says I'm grounded.
You are.
Okay, does that mean I don't have to go to work and I can just lay around and watch Netflix all day? I can do that.
You know what? I guess ideally I could be grounded too if that's the case. Like,
Well,
it'd be so nice.
if listeners don't know, we are excited because we have Alexa Blair Robertson. Is it Alexa Blair Robertson or Alexa Blair? I'm confused. But she's coming on. She is one of the stars of now, Claire, get this, the #1 unrated movie of all time in America, in the world. Like it's made more money than any other unrated movie in the theaters. And we got her on the show. So Justin in chat says Terrifier 2 was low-key worse than 3. Maybe, yes. I got a lot I want to talk about, Justin, when it comes to the Terrifier universe as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a lot we got to unpack here with Alexa when she hops on. But, you know, we're excited, Claire, to have her come on. What does David say? You just really have to think about the work and the practical effects to not get lightheaded. Hey, Alexa.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Good to see you. We're just talking about you behind your back, of course.
Imagine
Not to
that.
Not to your face. Alexa, what have you learned this week? What have you learned? We ask this question all the time. What have you learned this week?
That I can do hard things, and that even when I'm tired, I can still accomplish something I'm proud of.
Oh, I like
you.
that. Claire learned that tuna fish should not be eaten on an airplane.
You know, very
Punishable
valuable
offense.
piece of information. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's warranted for a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
for
Alexa,
sure.
it is. Like, what airline do you fly, Alexa? What's your go-to airline?
I would have to say Delta is my go-to, but honestly,
best.
I've been burned by everybody recently, so I'm kind of like anti everything right now.
Alexa, do you book flights on Spirit?
I was once a broke college student, so yes, I have in fact booked many of flights on Spirit. No judgment, please.
I feel like, Alexa, if we were going to take a work advice flight and you were going to be on it with us and we wanted to fight each other, we would choose Spirit because that's the fighting airline. People get in the fights all the time on the Spirits, Claire. They do. Like
Oh,
if I'm flying you on a Spirit, we might be going to blows. I'm just saying. It could be happening. I might be pulling an Art the Clown. You never know.
Oh, seriously. I mean, when they have you sitting on basically cardboard covered in like a sheet, you know, everyone's going to be cranky when they wake up. So
It's going to come to a point where you're going to have to pay to use the bathroom on those airlines. They're going to have a door with a coin drop, and you're going to walk in there. That's going to happen.
You know, I was recently on a cross-country flight, and they told us, they were like, we're out of food. We were like, oh, okay, it's okay. Like, we don't want to order anything. Like, you have like crackers or something. Like, we have no food. All they had was water on that flight. We were on that flight for a good 6, almost 7 hours because there was a delay. And we were like, how can you, what? How is this
Wait,
Where are
possible?
you flying from?
Yeah,
We were
we're
flying from New York back to California, and there was like a delay. It was a fiasco to begin with, but they had no food.
but
You know, this is why I fully believe you cannot trust an airline to give you food or water, because if you don't take off and you're just stranded on the tarmac, they're like, sorry, FAA rules, we can't give you water. So I always pack a water, and I strap on. Okay, I have a massive backpack, a water, a Diet Dr. Pepper, a trusty bag of Cheetos,
The essentials.
backup bag of Doritos, and normally bite-sized Reese's. So like calories don't
I
count
like
on a
you.
plane.
oh, I like that.
They just don't.
I like calories don't count
It's like
anywhere
a
in my
time
life.
warp. Nothing's real on a plane. You know, it's a
Yeah.
time warp. Anything goes.
It
You're in your
truly
own
is,
society.
like,
It's your own society. It's you're just sitting there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm an aisle seater, Alexa. I like sitting in the aisle because
Me too.
I gotta
absolutely.
pee a lot, and I want access. I don't like waking Alexa up if you're on the aisle and me going, I gotta cross over you, and then you give me the, oh my god, this guy sucks. I don't want that.
I don't like making enemies. You know, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I don't want to make new enemies on an airplane. You know, I'm just trying to get there.
Yeah, and Jacob says, what about an egg salad sandwich? And I think that would smell like a sulfur fart. It would be awful on the airplane.
No.
Nobody want to smell that, Alexa. Nobody.
I
But
would. That'd be terrible. Then it'd all smell bad. You know.
it'd be awful. Well, Alexa, Claire, Alexa's in the number one unrated movie of all time, right? It's the number one unrated movie of all time.
crazy.
Pretty
Why?
crazy.
I feel like if they were going to rate this movie, Alexa, it would be like X, right? It could not get rated.
Whatever the furthest letter there is, number, I don't know. It's that for sure.
Isn't it like NC-17?
No, it's not. It should
Isn't
be.
that like the
No.
worst up until unrated?
Yeah, because they're not letting anybody like under the age of 18 go in. People are getting like kids are going and denying, which there's a theory, by the way, that they've been going to see the little robot movie, that they've been buying tickets for it and then sneaking into Terrifier.
Wait,
That's
but I
the
do want to
rumor.
see that, the Wild Robot movie.
My son saw that. He said it was great. My wife took him. She was like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to. I'm going to see Terrifier 3. That's what I'm going to see."
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, don't like it yet. I haven't told you the whole story with my Terrifier.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
What I learned this week, Alexa, is I thought I could handle any horror movie, but I could not finish part 3. And everybody in the chat's gonna bash me for it. But I'm telling you, I'm never gonna lie to you, Alexa. I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't finish it. It's not that it's bad. It's a good movie. It's just really gory. Like it is.
Where did you tap out?
Oh, well, I tapped out when you died. I was like, oh well,
yeah.
she's dead. I'm like, I made it to
Yeah,
you're
you
dead.
can stop watching now.
When Art the Clown takes the chainsaw to your actor boyfriend and goes up his derriere, I'm like, this is just I've never seen this ever in a movie before. Like he's getting basically
Imagine
raped
my
with a
face.
chainsaw.
Whenever Damien sends me that scene for the first time, and I'm just reading it like, we're gonna do what? You're gonna what? Like I've never even read anything like that. It's just insanity. Damien's, you never know what he's gonna come up with. He is just in a league of his own in that way.
Okay, in this movie, you're great, by the way. I mean, you're like my favorite one, but you're also, I know you now, so you're on here, so I'm gonna say that. Why did you not run out of the shower? Like, I feel like conventional wisdom would have been while he's sticking said chainsaw in the behind, you would take an exit out. I would have. Claire, would you have done that?
You know, actually, I thought about this, and I like to think I have good flight or fight. Just yesterday, my husband hid underneath a blanket, like literally right next to the bed, and I sat on the bed and I started like typing on my computer. I looked over and he was just there, and I just froze and screamed. And I was like, I don't have fight or flight. I have freeze. So I would be Alexa. I would totally be her.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I don't know. I think like the tendency, like when you get scared, is just like lock up and like you know, you you don't really have time to think through it. And I think that that's kind of what was happening there, is that Art's coming at it. There's noise, there's chainsaw, there's glass. And like Mia's just like, I don't know what's going on. And as soon as Cole leaves the shower, I think that it dawns on her, like, I'm on my own and I don't even know what to do. She has like, there's just nowhere to go. She's backed into a corner, literally. So I feel like
She
that was
definitely
kind
was.
of the inspo behind it. Like that's like a really vulnerable place to be in, the shower to begin with. And then suddenly you're getting attacked from all sides. Doesn't get much crazier than that,
It gives Psycho vibes.
Yes. 100%.
Way more violent though.
Yeah.
Alexa, before we dive into this, I want to ask you, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in North Carolina, so I spent most of my life in Raleigh.
I asked you that because I knew that. I researched you. I grew up in North Carolina.
okay.
So we're both from
You
North
would just think if I
Carolina.
was gonna lie. Oh,
No,
no
I just,
way. Where
I just
you
wanted to
from?
say I'm from North Carolina like you. I'm from near Charlotte. I'm near Charlotte area.
Oh, amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
great area.
But we moved to Minnesota about 4 months ago. So
That's
we're
a
not there anymore.
big
Yeah. You're telling
How's
me
the
we're
winter?
about it's different up here. It's it's different. I like it. It's slower. It's a slower pace. It's gonna be cold though. I'm gonna freeze. But North
Good
Carolina's
luck to
great.
you.
Thank you, Alexa. I
Yes.
appreciate that. I'll think about that. Good luck. I'll watch this back in about January and say, "Oh, she told me good luck."
Not gonna make it.
So, Alexa, you are a dancer, also, right?
Correct.
Okay, Claire's a pageant girl. Claire,
Yes.
did you
Retired.
dance in the pageants, Claire, or are you not a dancer?
So I am not a dancer. My best friend is. She's a fabulous dancer and was great. And when she asked me like what my talent would be, I was like, I honestly have no idea. But she asked if I could sing, and I sang instead. So and I did really well, shockingly. But Alexa, if you were in pageants, you could easily be a dancer.
Oh, yes, I do think that would be my go-to. I think I've reached for dancing first. I don't think dying in a shower is a great talent. I don't think they would accept that one. So
I mean, but it is a talent. Just saying, like that. What you did, I couldn't do it. So I'll give you mad props.
Claire, you should have said in your pageant days you're going to be a future podcast host with Brad. That's what you should have said back then. That should be your go-to.
automatic person.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, that would have been a talent. Fortune telling, future reading. That would have been it.
So, Alexa,
I would judge.
I texted Claire yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, man, Alexa, yes, Alicia, we're gonna talk about that. Alexa dies in the movie getting it on in the shower.
Mm.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, man, that's guess if you're gonna go. And before I want to, Alicia brings up a point. You did dance for the Knicks, right?
Correct.
Oh, how did that happen? Like, how did that happen?
It was like most things in life. It wasn't really planned on my end. It just kind of an opportunity came my way that I couldn't say no to. I had just graduated from Duke, and I moved to LA because that was what I wanted to do. And about 2 weeks after I moved to LA, I booked the Knicks, aka had to move to New York literally 2 weeks after I moved to LA. So one of those situations where it was just, I didn't see it coming, but it came, and it was so wonderful. And it was just a wonderful way to start my post-grad career. And I just feel so grateful to have had that opportunity. Performing in MSG was the coolest thing ever, and I'm so glad I did it.
How many girls were on the team, and did you dance every home game, or did you get home games off? Oh, every home game.
So the year that I was a part of the Knicks, they actually did an entire rebrand that year. They brought in the legendary Fatima Robinson, who is Beyonce's creative director, and she did a whole overhaul of the system. She made it so there was only 8 women on the team that year, meaning that we did not get any games off. I did every single home games. I think it totaled out around 60, and it was a full-time position. We were doing media stuff on the side, and it was such an honor, but it was a really unique experience because traditionally NBA teams are comprised of a lot more women, and it seemed more of like a part-time thing. So to have that be like a full-time gig, it was really an honor, and I was glad to be a part of kind of such a unique experience.
And how
But-
did you? Oh, sorry.
No, you go, Claire. I was just gonna say, but now you're an actress. Like that's what you really wanted to be, right?
I want to be both. I have a lot of passions and I like to wear multiple hats. And I would say that my truest dream would be a combination of the two. I think like Step Up, think Julianne Hough, an actress who can sing and dance and act. And so I just want to do it all, but for me, a dream role would be dance and acting combined.
That's awesome. I love that.
What were you gonna say, Claire? What were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm glad you brought up the fact that Jeff, I just saw what he said. But the fact that you were able to make that your full-time gig is awesome because I mean, they normally require you to have a job other than or be in school other than being a dancer. So like that's really awesome that you were really able to pursue your passion for that long. But why did you decide to finish? Like what made you close the door on that chapter?
So as amazing as the Knicks are and dancing for them was such an incredible experience, it does require you to live in New York. And I definitely think that I'm a SoCal girl at heart. The winter was really hard for me. And I mean that so seriously. I am not a cold weather person. So that played a big part of my decision. But also, while amazing as it was to be a full-time employee of MSG and have full-time benefits and things like that, ultimately that was the only creative venture I was able to kind of do that year. I wasn't able to tap into that actress side of myself, play different characters, which is really where I get a feeling of fulfillment from acting, is being able to embody multiple different characters and multiple different journeys. So for me, it was one of those things where I was like, I am so grateful, but I also feel like I did my absolute best and did everything I could in this current position this year, and I'm ready for what's next. So that was kind of my thought pathway.
So how did your agent bring to you Terrifier 3? Like, what was the deal with that? Were you like, I got to be in this movie, or were you like, oh my God, I guess I can do this?
So my journey to Terrifier 3 kind of began like any other self-tape audition does. My agent sends me a breakdown, a little bit about the project. However, this one really stood out in my mind because there was a giant all capital letter asterisk warning at the bottom saying, this role will include lots of gore and potentially a death. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I was like, I gotta know. I'm like, I have to know what this is. Like, this sounds crazy, And I've always enjoyed watching horror films. And while I'm not like, some people are like super, super into it and I respect it so much, I had not personally heard of Terrifier, but I reached out to a friend who I knew worked in the horror genre. And he freaked out. He was like, oh, Damien's my idol. I'm obsessed with Terrifier. Ah! This whole thing. And so I was like, it kind of lit a fire under me and made me really want to be a part of something that had such a phenomenon surrounding it, had such fanatic fans, So I just felt honored that they would even consider me, and turned out to be one of the right day, right time, right place. So
Claire, Alexa plays a podcaster in the movie, so she's a podcaster, man. What was the name of?
It's very meta.
It is. What was the name of your podcast in the movie again? What do you remember?
Graven Image.
Graven Image, which is going to be a new podcast on the Hopecast Network. You didn't know that, but we're bringing you on. You're going to host Graven Image on our network. We got like 7 shows. We're going to add you, Alexa. That's the goal. You got to live. You got to be a podcaster. We're wanting a movie. You got to come on ours and
add it to your repertoire.
Yes, please. I'll put it on the resume right away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of a resume, okay, Jeff commented in the live stream that Claire, me, and Alicia, who asked you about Dancing with the Knicks, do pageant coaching together. And he said that you would kill it in the pageant world because you already have the talent down and the interesting facts portion down. I'm just saying, you have to have a resume and you fill it out like that. So just keep it in the back of your mind, swish it around a little bit, and then call us.
Thank you. I will think about it. I am so inspired by the pageant community. Are you familiar with Hannah Nealman? She goes by Ballerina Farm. That's her like username on social media.
Yeah.
She is like she is my like gateway to the pageant community. I live vicariously, and I see her get all glammed up and go to those pageants. So what you guys do is no joke. So much respect for you guys.
Well,
It's a lot of fun. And
Alexa-
Alicia also was I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but Alicia, she was asking about the Knicks. She was a Thunder dancer for the Thunder team.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
nice.
think we need to be friends. She sounds awesome.
Did
I'm
they-
just saying,
did they-
y'all are two
did-
peas in a pot.
Did the Knicks trade Alicia to the Thunder with Carmelo when they did that, like that deal? Or was it... Only sports fans will get that joke.
Let's say I don't know.
Yeah, Claire looked at me like I'm an
I
idiot.
just dance for them. I don't follow the sports.
So Alexa didn't know when she was coming on that she was getting hired for a podcast and for pageantry. Like that's the reason we had her. Well, it's all a way to just get her on here.
You know, it is just so nice to know that you are versatile enough that you get job offers everywhere you go now. Look how
Seriously, you guys, you should have put this in the email. Oh my god, I would have been on here last week.
Seriously, are you okay? I want to talk a little bit about Art in the movie, Art the Clown.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Art is funny. He's a funny character. Like he's definitely evil, but he's funny. Like he's like
He's like a mime, you know.
he's a
Like,
mime. Yeah. What do you think? I was talking with Claire about this. What do you think Art does during the day when he's when he's living in Terrifier Town? Like he does most of his killings at night, right? So what's his job during the day? Let's try to figure out what Art's doing. Like who's doing? Is he a dry cleaner? Because he's got a lot of blood on his suits. I mean, he carries the suits and they're bloody. So
I feel
like, what do
he's
you?
gotta be? He's got to blend in. Maybe he's like a butcher, you know, so no one's asking any questions when he has like blood all over him, you know. But honestly, my response is like, I think that Art needs his like creative beauty sleep. I can see him like wrapped up in a Snuggie or something. Like he just needs his. He's got his little stuffies next to him. I can see that happening too.
honestly, going back to like having to have the beauty sleep made me think of like how calm, collected, and like particular you have to be to pull off these like crazy kills, and like also lucky that everything happens the way that you were hoping that you saw someone up the butt in the shower. So like really quick, I have to ask this, Brad. You're banging in the shower with your
Well,
boyfriend,
I don't.
right?
Me?
No, I'm sorry.
You mean Alexa? I'm married to a woman. I know.
Yeah, no, you. Sorry. Alexa is in the shower.
In the
Mia
movie,
is in the
yes.
shower.
Mia's
You
in
know,
the shower.
going at it. And like y'all kind of know that there's a possibility that Art is like back in town, right? So
Oh yeah.
I just think common sense. Like, would you, not Mia, you think maybe I won't shower because there's like a crazy killer on the loose and I'll just like live with being stinky? Or do you say, you know, I'm going to test this out. This is how if it's how I go, it's how I go.
Here's the thing about Mia. I think that would have made her like more willing to take risks. She's so obsessed with Art. Like, I'm not saying she wanted it the way that she got it, but I think that she would have loved to have the opportunity to meet Art in any capacity. So I think the realistic answer is that I don't think she or Cole were really thinking about anything other than taking the shower, but I think she would have been excited to meet Art in some capacity, so it would have enticed her more. But
Respect. Okay.
Yeah, she was begging that girl in the movie for like, she's like, I just saw my family. You may just go back to seeing my family die and all that stuff. And Alexa's asking, you think I was too brutal on her? And I'm like, yeah, you were definitely too brutal on her.
I know. It's like, oh my god, it didn't happen yesterday. Like, okay. Her whole family was murdered, but
That's how listeners, that's how we got Alexa on the podcast. We just kept harassing her and finally she broke down and said, okay, I'll come on. But we
Yeah.
definitely have to talk
Page out of
about,
the book.
we had to talk about everything Art related. So do you think Art's married? And does he come home and the wife is like, "We're watching Love is Blind." He's like, "I'm sick of watching Love is Blind." And like he tries to mime and she's like, "Stop the mime stuff, Art. I need you to talk to me." And he doesn't really feel like talking. He just like,
But hold on, my devil's advocate is like, are we sure Art is straight? Because we don't know, you guys. We don't know.
You know what?
You're right. He could be.
You're right.
He comes home and his husband's like, "Hey, man, what are we doing tonight? We're going to watch the game." He's like, "I thought we were going to see the Lakers." And he's like, "Nah, man, I got to go do some killing tonight." And he's at the Lowe's, like, greasing up the chainsaw. Like, I mean, that's the...
Maybe that's their date. Maybe they're both weird like that. Maybe they enjoy going and prepping the kills.
He is, yeah.
I'm just saying, it's on the menu. It's 2024. Like, what if they're polyamorous and on the night
Oh my gosh.
he doesn't have to be there? He's out.
Just
He's got
saying.
things to do. He's got people to kill. So, but no one's thinking about him because it's not his night with his, group.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all that is. I don't do that stuff. But I'll say, Art probably lives a fascinating life. He might be dropping the kids off at school every day. He's like, "Have a good day, son. Have a good day." And then the son goes and does things. Little as they know, his dad's like, got a chainsaw and he's killing a family. Like he's butchering kids in the opening scene. Really weird, man. He's a tough dude.
I'm loving what Jeff just said. There's a theory that he is Sienna's dad.
Oh, wow.
Alexa, you are in this world. Do you know anything about that?
I think that it's meant for everyone to have their theories, and I have to be honest and say that Damien and the whole team keeps everything very tight-lipped. So you won't get anything out of me.
There's
even from you.
Well,
you won't get a peep out of me. I respect the lore.
But did he tell you?
I have not gotten the full breakdown. However, when you join a project, you do get sent the entirety of a script that definitely has some context clues that I don't think that everyone else might be aware of. So I definitely feel like I have a leg up in some ways.
And do you think at some point you could come back? It is supernatural. Like there's a huge supernatural element.
I have gotten several DMs, most notably from middle school boys who are all like, "You were still blinking. You were still blinking. You could still be alive." And I'm like, I don't know if she's coming back from all that, y'all. I don't know.
Wait, do you check your DMs, Alexa? I'm just fascinated. Do you check your DMs? You got a huge following. Do you check the DMs?
Well,
my
when the movie first started coming out and I first started getting a social media response, it was super exciting. And I really tried to be, when people were giving kind messages, I tried to at least like them and repost the story that they tagged me, or so many people will make edits and that takes time. And I really appreciate people's support. So I was really trying to be interactive, but it has just gotten to a point where, I'll check it and, chuckle to myself or block the weirdos. But other than that, I just kind of send out a mental thank you. But
listener, she has blocked work advice, by the way. We have been blocked. I'm just kidding. She blocked us last week.
I give you so many props for responding back to your fans. That is such a kind-hearted thing for you to do, and I hope that people don't get upset if you don't respond, but I just have to applaud you because that is so kind.
Well,
thank you.
Well, I'll say this, Alexa. A lot of the guests I've booked on this podcast for the last year have just been me emailing them, and they're nice, they're kind, they'll come on. So you're very kind that you come on. I do appreciate that. But back to this Terrifier. Damien, the director, he's probably there's gonna be a Terrifier 4. There's no way there's not gonna be a Terrifier 4.
Maybe a 5 and 6. We'll see.
There's probably gonna be a 5, and I bet a studio picks it up. Or no, he probably won't go studio because he doesn't want to be told he can't do that stuff.
Damien has created this whole niche to himself. I don't think that he's ever gonna want a studio to come in and try to put limitations. He just wants to get bigger and better every time, and he's done the unthinkable in regards to making an unrated film so popular, and I think he wants to continue doing that.
Which
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
so excited to see what the fourth one will be like, because if you look at, let's just use like Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey, anything that has like 3 movies that started out with like a very low budget and then
Mhm.
did really well and then got more budget, and those movies were just like so much better. Like there is no way that he doesn't get a massive amount of money to produce Terrifier 4, and it's going to be awesome.
But it doesn't need to
Insane.
look any better though. It looks great now. It looks great for a low budget movie now.
Well, you know what's crazy is that I think it's just going to be more epic kills because more money means more practical effects, which means Damien can go even further, which after our scene, I'm not really sure. I don't know where the line is, okay?
I don't know where, and I think that's why Beetlejuice 2 sucks so much is they didn't do as many practicals. They did all CGI. And if this was a CGI movie, I don't think people would care much for Terrifier. But it is very practical, and it's crazy. Alexa, I got a game I want you to play with Claire and I. Are you down to play? You like games? You like games?
I do like games, but I'm kind of competitive, so I'm a little
Oh,
nervous.
do you think you can beat Claire? Before I even tell you what the game is. Okay, this game is called Be Kind Rewind. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the synopsis of movies you may rent. And you or Claire have to go beep and you tell me what movie it is and we'll get points. I have 7 here. So somebody's going to win this game.
So
We're gonna
saying
make this
Wait,
happen.
is it like a genre? What genre are we staying in?
Any genre. They're any genre
Oh
movies.
gosh, this
Yeah.
is tough.
It's tough, but I think Alexa might do well. Claire, I don't know about you. I don't know.
Yeah,
She might.
honestly, I think I'm gonna get whooped.
Yeah, you might get well, but it'll be
I'm
fun.
nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Okay, ready? We're gonna start. I'm gonna throw a lob. This is gonna be easy. Tyler receives the opportunity of a lifetime after vandalizing a performing arts school, gaining him the chance to earn a scholarship and dance with an up-and-coming crew. Up-and-coming dancer Nora. Oh my gosh.
Beep.
Beep,
No.
step up.
Yes. Who said that? Claire or Alexa?
Thank God.
Alexa.
Oh, I was like, y'all both were looking at me like you said it. I was about to say,
Yeah.
you mentioned this movie earlier in the pod, so I was like,
gonna
you're
say,
dead.
Okay, in my defense, I was like 4 years old when the movie came out. The names are a little fuzzy, okay?
Okay, well.
Oh, that hurts my heart. 4 years old.
Wait, you were 4 years old in 2006?
Okay, I was 5. I was 5.
You were born in 2001, right?
I'm May of 2000.
I'm August of 79, so I feel really old.
I feel
Jeez.
old, and I'm not as old as you, Brad, but I'm definitely not as young.
Thanks. The way you put that made me feel like a big old
Yeah,
pile
you're
of
right
crap.
in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. 1 point for Alexa. Here we go. 2 codependent high school seniors are forced to deal with separation anxiety after their plan to stage a booze-soaked party goes awry. This is from 2007. You can ask for a hint if you both don't know.
A booze
Do you know?
party.
Me? Oh, yeah. I like this movie. It's funny as all get out. Okay. I'm going to give you a hint. Jonah Hill.
I need a hint.
Jonah Hill.
Super bad?
Yes. Super bad. 1 to 1.
Okay, wait, I have to tell you, so in Superbad, there is a scene where a pant gets a little messy after dancing. I don't know if you guys remember that part, but
I
Yeah.
know that scene. Yes.
a woman has a lady problem. I met her.
Oh, wow.
She was my waitress at Houston's in LA once, and I will never forget that. She was, and I watch it and I'm like, I met her.
That was
So
my
anyway.
waitress.
Classic LA story that you just are like, you meet someone who, like, you're like, why do I know your face? This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Anyway, but I'm glad I've tied it up. I'm ready to break away.
I know. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I actually love that movie, but I was a little bit lost in the explanation.
Yeah, it is a weird explanation. You might get this one, though, Alexa. Claire, you might. A family road trip to attend Meemaw's 90th birthday party goes hilariously off course thanks to Greg's newest scheme to get to a video gaming competition.
Beep. Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yes, you were in that movie. I was like, she better get this one. I would be shocked if she doesn't.
Sorry, we cheated. We cheated. That was a setup. That was a setup.
Okay, here we go. A couple more. When attending their son's college graduation, a couple reignites their spark in their relationship, but the complicated fact is they're divorced and he's remarried. Do you need a hint? Listeners,
Yeah.
do we got anybody listening here? Okay. It has Meryl Streep in it.
Something's got to give.
No.
Oh my gosh, wait, I actually have seen this movie. Oh no, I can't think of the name.
It's got Jim from The Office in it. It has Alec Baldwin. This is one of my wife's favorite movies. It's
Oh my God, I
got
know
Steve
the film.
Martin.
I don't know the name.
Somebody's got to get this because we got 7 questions.
No, like I literally don't know this. It's
I
around.
just, the title is in the synopsis.
It's complicated.
Yes. Who said that? Claire or Alexa?
Educated guess.
Alexa.
Okay. Alexa's up 3-1. Okay, a couple more here.
No, it's 2.
Is it 2-1?
Two.
No, it's
Okay.
3-1. You're right.
Okay.
Oh wait, actually it's 3. It's 3.
Okay.
You're right.
While babysitting 2 children on Halloween, a babysitter finds a VHS tape in one of their candy bags. The tape contains 3 horror stories linked by a killer clown. As the night progresses, strange things happen in the house. Alexa, Damien's going to be so mad if you don't get this one.
Terrifier 1.
No, Damien, don't watch. Don't.
He's going to be so upset. Because I would if I created Art the Clown and my favorite podcast star from Terrifier 3 did not know this one. Claire, there's no way you're answering this.
Is it
Oh my
Terrifier 1?
God.
No, it's not. It's not Terrifier
no,
1.
Actually, wait. I know exactly what you're talking about. I do know it. Give me a second.
Oh, she's looking it up. David knows the answer. I'm just going to give this point to David. David gets this one.
Jeff too.
Okay, what is it? Remind me of the name.
All Hallows Eve.
Yes. Okay, you guys, I watched him say that literally in an Instagram video yesterday. I had a brain fart. Tisk tisk, that was bad.
Last
Damien,
one.
You never saw this.
Last one. Convinced that a CCN cameraman is her true love, an eccentric crossword puzzler trails him as he travels all over the country, hoping to convince him they belong together. This has 2 mega stars in it.
A crossword puzzler?
Yes, this is a terrible movie. My wife went to the theater to see it. I did not. And I go,
Wait, Brad, what led you to pick these?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I tried to pick one with big stars. I was like, okay, you got Meryl Streep, you got Jonah Hill, you got Diary, you got Greg, you got. Okay, I will say I like the original Greg family, not the new one in the long haul. If I had to choose, the Steve Zahn is better. Just my
Look,
opinion.
I used to be in love with the actor who played the original Roderick, so you can imagine my disappointment when I showed up to set and found out they had recasted the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I can't. Oh my gosh. Did anybody know this one? This one stars Bradley Cooper, Sandra
Silver
Bullock.
Lining. Oh no.
My wife fell asleep through Silver Linings Playbook and then tried to tell me she saw the movie when we're not. In her defense, she was like 8 months pregnant. Jeff says
know this
Walter
one.
Mitty. No. Okay. It looks like Alexa's going to win this, Claire. It looks like you're going to lose.
I still
But-
didn't do very good though. It doesn't feel like I deserve it.
No, you wiped the floor clean with me. That's for sure.
uh, that that's your win. The answer is All About Steve.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I've
I like.
never heard of that, and I'm like a huge Sandra Bullock fan.
We should pause it the way Claire was going. Y'all both have the weirdest. Look, you did good, Alexa. That's the first time we've ever played this game, and they will have to meet your standards. Future guests will have to meet your standards when we choose to play this game. I'm telling
I
you.
know.
For
Couple-
right now, like I just want this to be marked as I am 0 for 1. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
0-1. You're 0-1.
0-1.
Yeah. I'm glad I
Okay.
picked some newer movies though. I didn't realize Alexa was, 14.
you were? Sadly, Brad, 2006 is almost 20 years away.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say, a recent interview I did, one of the top comments was like, wow, she's so well spoken for a college kid. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, how old do people think I am? I'm
Wait,
a grown
Well,
person.
how old? Okay, so if you were born in 2001,
No, 2000.
2000.
She's
so
24.
you're 24.
I'm
Yes.
24.
You
I
know what?
Yeah.
People are still in college at 24. Sometimes,
Yeah,
some of
true.
them. I mean, I wasn't, but and you aren't, but there are some people.
Claire,
True.
Alexa, we talk about this all the time on here, and you didn't realize you're coming on such a immature podcast. I'm sure you probably thought this was very professional. You are younger, Claire. She's younger than my streak of not taking a dump on the airplane. 27 years. I have this streak. I'm very proud of this streak, and you're younger than that. So Claire and I talk about this a lot, and you're younger. So I feel really old.
Claire, is that by your will, or does Brad force that conversation?
I don't force anything. There's no forcing. Claire's,
So,
she's immature too.
I mean, I did this one time because I'm a millennial and we do the
Yeah.
peace signs. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
deuces.
And Brad started talking about deuces, and then it led to spooky.
I see the
talk.
dominoes. It's a natural progression.
It is.
correct.
It's
You
like a
can't
slow.
say something to a boy. You know what you're getting yourself.
Yeah, you know what you're getting yourself into. A couple more things. Claire, do you have a news story that you can read Alexa and we can laugh about?
I do.
Hold on. I got an intro.
Okay.
I got an intro.
Oh.
I like it. Wait. Whoa, that's not it. Well, that was a lame intro. Okay, forget the intro. Let's go.
Oh, Brad.
I got to
We
work
gotta
on my
rehearse
intros.
that. We got to rehearse that better.
I'm going to get fired from intros.
So, in the spirit of Halloween, I mean, it only seems right to talk about something that's Halloween related, is
Of course.
in Des Moines, Iowa. This will be the first time since 1938. So, see, something's older than you, Brad.
Okay.
That
You gotcha.
people will trick or treat on Halloween.
Why?
I was like, wait, how? So they actually go on All Hallows Eve, which is the night before Halloween normally. And it was in efforts to take a different approach in hopes of tamping down on hooliganism. And
There's a lot of hooligan. There's a lot of hooliganisms going on the Halloweens, right?
on the
There
Halloween.
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was wait. It's on Beggar's Night.
Oh.
So yeah, I just thought that was really cool and interesting that they thought that just because they were not having it on Halloween, that it was going to reduce hooliganism.
Yeah, because that's actually what it is. It's just the date that makes people crazy, not the candy or the being out after dark in costumes or anything.
Right. Right.
Alexa, what was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid?
Well, I don't know if this is necessarily my favorite, but one that like sticks out as I really loved. I in second grade was a genie. And it's important to note that this genie costume was actually a hand-me-down from my older sister, who was a lot older than me, and I pinned it to fit my body. And you guys, it was a two-piece. It was like a crop top and like little pants. I was in second grade, and I went to a religious school, and I showed up to school in this two-piece costume, and I remember the look on my teachers' faces were just like, oh my God. But I loved it, and I looked great, and I have great photos.
That was probably, they knew then and there that you would be on TV or on the silver screen
In an Art the Clown movie.
and with your
Right
boyfriend
then and there.
in the shower.
Yep, they were
It was-
like, a star is born right here, right now. Yep.
Midget
Okay,
gave it
that
away.
is. I do want to ask that before we go. How'd you break it to your folks? Like, are they that you're going to be in the birthday suit on the silver screen with your BF getting slashed?
Well, I do think this is an important topic to bring up, is that it's all movie magic, you know, and when joining into this project, I had very strict lines of like what I was and wasn't willing to do in the
Mhm.
context of the scene. So good news is there was no birthday suit. It's all smoke and mirrors. But in regards to in regards to telling my family and everything, they're all so supportive. They, this has been like acting and like working in film has been something I've always wanted to do my entire life, and they're just proud of me for doing exactly that and persevering. It's not an easy industry, and I'm just lucky to have such great friends and family that they're gonna support me no matter what, So
If my kid was in Terrifier 3, I would brag to everyone, and I'm a pastor at a church, so I would be like, Max is in Terrifier 3. I would even dress up as Art the Clown on Halloween just to
oh
spook him.
yeah.
I'd be like,
Well,
I'm Art the Clown. Yeah, so I would do
I
the
will
whole
say,
thing.
my dad went and saw it, which at first he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna go see it. He's like, I support you and I love you, but I don't know. I'm not into that kind of thing. He's, good old Southern boy from Alabama. And he actually decided to go after seeing how great the reviews were. And he was so proud afterwards. He was walking up to everyone in the theater being like, hey, did you like the movie? Yeah, but my daughter, she's in it. She's Mia. It was
I
pretty
would do
cute.
that. I would do that. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I love
me, Alexa. I will say, of all the people in the movie, I like you the most. Like you're.
You're just saying that to
No,
everybody.
I promise you this. I don't blow smoke up the butt on here. I'm not doing that. But I'm telling you, like, you are partially unlikable in the movie because
Yeah.
but you want your podcast to grow. I get that. I feel that. Claire and I feel that every day when we do a podcast. But you do bring it. Like, you can tell you are loving being in this movie and you're enjoying it. Like, and you're kind of brighter because, let's be honest, the girl that I think she was in part 2, the one that you wanted on your podcast, she's kind of dour. She's a buzzkill.
Yes.
Sienna's a buzzkill in the movie. Like, I mean, she definitely is like, oh my. She's been through a lot, and her brother, he's kind of nerdy. The roommate, your boyfriend's roommate. So yeah, you're like the funnest one in the movie. Like, you're like, okay, she's living in Terrifierville and she likes it. Like, because Claire, at the end of the day, if Art the Clown was around, you know what? I'm leaving this town. I'm going to Los Angeles, and I'm not going to be around when he's doing his slashing. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You're out.
I'm not risking it,
Like, you're not taking a shower.
No, like,
Claire's
A,
gonna
I'm not taking a
stink.
shower. B, I know my husband would hate that. So, like, C, we would be moving. Like, that's just how it would be.
She would be the most unkempt pageant coach we have in America.
Honestly, Brad, that's probably still the case today.
Okay.
Saying. But I would move. I wouldn't even care if I put myself in a debt. I would not be like, if there was a serial killer in Oklahoma City, which, I mean, like, statistics say that there are a lot that we don't know of. You should know that because you are a true crime podcaster, obviously. But
yes.
like, if I knew, I'd probably be like, we should move. I just wouldn't live here.
Absolutely.
Not risking it.
Yeah.
It's the whole same theory with Michael Myers, right? You live in Haddonfield, he comes out and kills on Halloween. Just go to Disney World over the vacation and then come back, and he's not killing again for another 363 days.
That is what
you come
I
back
am
with a
screaming.
tan, everything's better.
Yeah, you're like, oh, my neighbors got butchered. I was riding Dumbo. I was having a good time. That's the move.
Yeah.
Alexa,
Exactly.
you must be having the offers just rolling at this point. Like, we got to have Graven. What was it called? Graven
Image.
Graven Image. We got to have the host of Graven Image in our movie. What do you got? What do you got coming up?
I mean, the kind of the interesting nature of this industry is that you're kind of, you finish a project and you're on cloud 9, so proud of it for it to come out, and then it's kind of back to the drawing board. So right now I'm in the midst of auditioning for new stuff. I have some other projects that I filmed earlier this year that I'm still waiting for them to come out. So keep an eye out for those. But otherwise, for me, I'm training, I'm auditioning, and I'm really excited for what's next.
And hopefully Damien, the director, puts you in another project, even when he's done with art. What if he did an art prequel and had you in there? Like, there could be a movie in between 2 and 3 that could have her in there. See, that's the way you do it, Claire.
I like this creativity. I think you should submit a claim over to Mr. Damien. But I would be honored to work with him in any capacity. He's awesome. So
And if
he wants me, I'm there.
If they're saying that Terrifier 4 is going to be in outer space, maybe it really is. Like,
I did see that. I did see that.
And you come back. Who knows?
Arts in outer space. Here, Alexa, tell Damien if he needs podcast hosts for a Terrifier movie, since you're now murdered. Claire and I will come in and host Graven. What was it called? Graven
Image, Brad. This is part of our job. We're supposed to remember this.
I know. I'm sorry. Alexa, you're our favorite Terrifier. What? You know what? If the next movie is in hell, okay, this is what Jeff says. It probably could be. Alexa, thank you so much for coming on. He said she could be. Jeff said this. If you want to see this, Alexa, you could be in it if it's in hell. Since you died.
I've also gotten that DM quite a few times, Jeff.
Oh my gosh. Being dead and all. He says being dead and all. Alexa, you are always welcome to come back on our show. Anytime you want to promote anything, we would love to have you come on and chat. You have been the best. And I'm not just saying that because you're on here, even though you are pretty awesome. I mean, isn't she, Claire? She's great.
She's like a ray of sunshine. Like, I hate that she was killed off in a movie. That's like so sad to me.
Yeah, I'm sad about that because, again, she was my favorite. But also, Alexa, if you ever want to do a podcast on our network, we will produce it and drop it for you. Just let me know. Yeah, he would be great. We need Graven Image. I remembered. You think Damien would? Do you think Damien would like have issue if you create a podcast called Graven Image? Like you stole like what he came up with and said, "I'm going to do this."
As long as I got his approval, I think that he would think it's awesome. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like the coolest thing to see his world come to life. When people like dress up as art and all these things. Like it's just the ultimate form of flattery. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Like tell him that you're going to launch that and you're going to promote Terrifier 4 through it and see what he says. I think he'll probably like that. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Alexa. You've been amazing. We do appreciate it. And Jeff has one last thing he wants to say. He says the act is quite pleasant. The character, not necessarily. I'm just saying.
Thanks. I get that. I've gotten that as well. But thanks, Jeff.
We're giving you nothing new tonight. You've gotten everything. We hope this has been a different kind of podcast than you're used to.
It definitely has been. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Brad, for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you. See you next time, Alexa.
Bye, guys.
Go be a light. You're awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Claire,
she's precious.
She was incredible. She was incredible. I gotta say,
dang cute.
Yeah, she brought it. She was there. I mean, she was good. I don't know. She's still. I think she's gone. I think she's gone
stuck
now.
like this for me.
Yeah, I think she's frozen on here. But you know what?
But I hope that she just does all of the great things and is in all of the great movies so we can watch her and continue to support her.
Yes, we will. We will be her biggest supporter. Anytime she's got a movie coming out, we're just going to talk about it on here. Be like, our friend Alexa Blair Robertson, host of Graven Images, is
fabulous.
I kept forgetting that name. I just can't. It's not a very catchy name. It's not good. I'm sorry. It's not a good catchy name.
Like Graven, it could be better. They could have even chat GPT like a podcast for a true crime show and gotten a better answer.
They could have. Graven Images seems really weird to me. I don't like it. But I do like that she said our ideas are pretty good. So maybe she'll pitch them to Damien for us.
I know. The only problem with that, if she does, we don't get money.
No, we don't. But we could be those people going, did you see that? We thought of that.
That's but you know what, Brad? That kind of screams like Dave Matthews in Just Go With It, where he says that he's the I-Man because he created the iPod.
Yeah, it does. Nobody's going to believe us. How can we get Damien on the show? I would love to get into his mind about art. I'd like to go to the actual creator of art.
I feel like that mind is very sketchy.
I feel like I'd need a shower after that episode.
I would
I
be
feel like
glad
it'd be
to like
rough.
not live near him, you know?
Yeah. I feel like if I'm dreaming this stuff, my wife is like, "You're gonna put me in a wood chipper one day, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not, baby, I'm not." It's like,
I like frequently ask my husband like questions on if I were kidnapped or, you know, God forbid I was kidnapped. But and he's like, "What goes on up there?" Like
yeah,
genuinely, why do you think that? Like sometimes I ask, does the kidnapper understand that if you're in the same room and it's small, just because you're kidnapped doesn't mean you don't toot, and that's not pleasant. So they let you go.
see, now you bring your immaturity, Claire. You judged me when I had her on here. That's why you're like, "Well, Brad sees me do this."
I had
Now
to be
you're bringing it.
proper.
Now you're talking about tooting, and it's like, okay, I think about that though. I just watched a movie, Saving Silverman, that we're going to be doing on Movie Torture, and they kidnap her best friend's kidnapper, put her in a room, and I'm like, okay, where's she going to the bathroom at in here? Like they're coming
know.
down, like they got then they bring a porta john in for her, which was nice, but initially she's just chained up, and I guess she's just pooping herself at this point.
Yeah. And,
Who's like changing the diapers?
and at that point, I'm just like, I'm good. Go ahead
Yeah.
and do what you were gonna do.
Just kill me now.
Yeah, I don't
It's like,
want to do that. And honestly, I'm embarrassed when people hear me too. So like at that point, I would just be like, it's time for me to go.
wait, how long in your relationship with your husband before you tooted?
I don't know, but I do know that the first time was a total accident and I was mortified and I locked myself in a closet.
Oh my gosh, my wife's was an accident too. We were playing a board game, Balderdash, and she goes, haha, just like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, we were playing with my brother and sister-in-law.
You're like, oh, you're real.
Yeah. Well,
You do it
he's
too.
definitely real. Yeah. Yeah. Because
No, it's-
like that's a good question. Like we should have asked Alexa. I don't think she would have answered it. But like how far into your relationship before you start tooting? That's a good question.
There are some people that still don't. And they're married.
Those people are weird to me, by the way. If you're not farting around your spouse, you are a weirdo in my mind. There's just
Yeah.
weirdness.
To each their own.
I
It's
guess.
embarrassing.
Claire, that's weird, man. If I got to go to the bathroom every time I want to toot, I would be like, well, I guess I'm going to spend my whole evening in the bathroom. Y'all enjoy watching Terrifier without me. That's what I would say.
I can just tell you this. My husband does not live by the embarrassment with tooting. Like it never fails. He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and rips one, and I too wake up at 4:30 in the morning because the fart wakes me up. So like,
Oh, man, that's a loud one if it's waking you up.
and if he's listening, it's a problem. And
Oh.
we will talk about it when you get home.
That's funny. I thought you were gonna say he wakes me up at 4:30 with a loud toot, and I wake him up at 4:40 with a loud toot. See, that's what I thought you're gonna be like bugle.
Oh, a little
bugle.
tit for tat action.
That's what you got to fire back. It's like a war.
Got it.
If he serves you, you got to serve him more. That's
I'll-
the move.
I'll work
I
on
think
that.
we've lost every listener at this point. They're like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, they fell down this. Claire,
Yeah.
this has been so great. I'm so glad you're a part of the show now.
I am so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. This was awesome.
And
Second show
if
in the books.
second show in the books, and you can please follow us. We should have said this when she was on here. Follow us on Instagram at Work Advice for Me, and yeah, follow us, like and subscribe. Yeah, we want good reviews, right, Claire? We need good reviews on there.
Only
Please
good
help.
reviews.
Yeah, and put on there your favorite episode was Alexa Blair Robertson. And do you think she would really come back, or do you think she was just telling us that because she has to?
Oh man, I think she'd come back. She was awesome.
I'm gonna test that. We're gonna see. I'm not. I was low key serious. She should do Graven Images on our network. I think that would be amazing.
That would be
She-
cool. That'd
she
be
should-
great.
She should do that. It'd be great. Hey, Claire, I think I gotta go. I want to go see my family. So
Me too.
I'm gonna go. For my co-host Claire, my name is Brad. This is Work Advice for Me. We will see you next time. Claire, that was fun. What'd you think?
That was awesome.